Alright, for my 35 points, I have a unit of shifting stones, I have full Bloodtrackers with Nuala, I have a Shadowhorn Satyr, I have a Stalker, Megalith, and I'm running Epic Krueger.
Okay. In the Khador list, I'm going to have Yuri the Axe, Kovnik Jozef Grigorovich, a full unit of Winter Guard Infantry with the unit attachment. I'm going to have the Kodiak, the Destroyer, the War Dog, the Old Witch with Scrapjack, and then a min unit of Kayazy Assassins with the Underboss.
So for deployment, basically my original thought was, kind of put my War Beast and my caster on one side to kind of, defend my flag, worst case scenario.
My setup was pretty straightforward. I was deploying the Warjacks to be more in the middle and go after his flag. The Assassins were meant more to go after his flag, and the Winter Guard were more to defend my flag.
Now for AD, I kind of set the Bloodtrackers up so they can go against the Winter Guard, so they can just basically have a big out brawl and see if I can kill some.
Placing Yuri there was mainly to Thresher on the Bloodtrackers if he could get there.
Alright, for Circle first turn, basically what I end up doing is I just end up running the Bloodtrackers up just to, get up there and possibly next turn be able to either kill some Winter Guard or get Yuri. I shift the stones up just so, they can be in a better position next turn. Then basically all my War Beasts run up just to get a better vantage point, except for Megalith. Megalith ends up trampling himself forward, and he also telekinesis himself for another 2 inches. Then Krueger decides to fly up his 6, telekinesis himself for another 2, and he storm walls for 3. And that is it for Circle turn 1.
Khador, turn 1. Allocating a focus. After checking my control area, allocate 1 to Scrapjack, 1 to the Destroyer. Don't need to allocate 1 to the Kodiak because it runs for free. Scrapjack runs complete 12 inches, getting as far across the board as possible. Measuring in to make sure he didn't get too far away with the Witch. But at a 12-inch run, I doubt he got too far. Then Yuri moved forward to be kind of a thorn in some people's sides, hopefully potentially getting up far enough that he could actually do something next turn. And staying out of the javelin throwing range. The Destroyer runs, the Kodiak runs, the War Dog then runs to get as far up the table, as close to Scrapjack as possible. The Kayazy Assassins activate, they run, trying to put a little bit of a buffer between his beasts and my Warjacks. I then activate Kovnik Joe. He puts out for the Motherland and then runs, sort of runs. Then I activate the Winter Guard. They just decide they're going to run. Nothing says getting up the field as fast as possible when you're only speed 6. Then finally the Old Witch is next. She activates. She moves forward. She puts Iron Flesh on the Winter Guard. She then does 2 for Unseen Path, putting her up right behind Scrapjack. And then popping feet. Hopefully that'll defend me enough.
Alright, Circle's second turn. Alright, so this turn we're playing a little bit of red light, green light. Right now it's red light. So basically what ends up happening is I end up taking my Fury off, making sure that Stormwall and both Prowl drop. Then Megalith goes ahead and shimmies himself back. He geomancies telekinesis to telekinesis stone over. I had an idea, then, a little later on in the turn, I decided to have a brain fart and forget about this plan. Krueger ends up taking a POW 14 to the face, because he ends up moving and telekinesing himself. So, after a lot of thoughtful considerations on how to actually move him, I finally just decided to move him. He ends up getting hit with the POW 14, and he ends up just shoving it off to someone else. Measuring control area to see for my feet to kind of stop his guys from, axe murdering me in the face. And I finally actually telekinesed myself. And here goes the very long feet turn of I'm going to push everything away because I don't like you. We had a little bit of a discrepancy over this destroyer here, but we got it sorted out. Alright, then Krueger decides to go ahead and shoot Scrappy to pray to God that I disrupt him. I end up hitting, do a couple points of damage, and disrupting him. So overall, good day for me. Then the stones finally decide to come up, play some, defense, try to protect Krueger as much as possible. The Stalker, ends up walking up, ends up misplacing him because we both kind of forgot at a brain fart about no running under the Old Witch's feet turn. So he walks up, rows for two, and tries to play defense as well. The Shadowhorn basically just riles and tries not to get hit with that POW 14 because he would be hating life if we got hit with that POW 14. And basically the Bloodtrackers are just trying to play red light and throw some spears at Scrapjack and hopefully do a couple points of damage. And that's my second turn.
Hold on. Khador, turn 2. After being pushed back from his feet, it was a little rough. I did think that I had a potential for a caster run here. I mean, it was going to be kind of tight. So I was planning appropriately for this turn. I should have probably played it a little safer. Probably should have played a little more defensive. But with that Stalker as close as he was and my speed as low as it was going to be, I really didn't see where I'd be able to get away from the Stalker. So I figured go for the kill. So start off with the Destroyer, forgetting that it had a storm wall up. I didn't get an aim bonus, so I had to advance forward to get within my 9, which I was barely within. I then shot its defense 5, which I barely hit. I then boosted the damage at -4, needing at least a 9 to remove the box. All the boxes off of it, I was able to kill it, but no damage to anything else. to try to help some of this out, ended up moving Scrapjack forward. Tried to, measuring his melee, making sure that he wasn't quite within melee of Krueger, but he decided to try to scratch the Stalker. Unfortunately, bad dice rolls. Didn't even scratch his skin any. Kovnik Joe backed up, did boosted to hit for the Winter Guard. They then moved forward with the order of Bob and Weave. They then went ahead and did some grape shots, trying to do my best to take out some of the upcoming threats that if I failed in the assassination that I might be able to survive. But I was able to get both, hit multiples, and luckily for me the dice rolls here were in my favor, and I was able to thin them out considerably, but not quite enough, as you can tell from the next round. Then activate the Old Witch. She does Unseen Path to get within melee range of Krueger. She then boosts the first claw because she really wants to hit him. She hits him. Roll really well, but he has a transfer, so he transfers it off to one of his beasts. I boost the second claw attack, managing the hit. Not doing so much damage, but he took it. And then buying an attack, hitting, doing a couple more points of damage, buying another attack, failing to hit, feeling like there's a good potential that she's going to die this turn. So Yuri moves up to try to help block some of the Bloodtrackers. The assassins, they run forward, hoping to keep some of those beasts back that may decide to come in. The Kodiak moves forward, giving a lot of juicy targets. War Dog activates. He comes in, hoping to give enough of a defense for the Old Witch, and that's the end of my turn.
Alright, this is the start of Circle Turn 3. I am taking back all my fury. After this Old Witch final assault kind of deal, I finally figured out it's a make it or break it kind of thing. So, basically, I have the Bloodtrackers go first, try to get rid of Yuri and the stupid War Dog, so I can actually be able to hit the Old Witch. They ended up charging. Let's see here, I got 2 on the dog, and I also got Nuala and another one on Yuri. I ended up charging up and getting 1 Winter Guard too, whoop-de-doo. So, first on Yuri, I ended up swinging with both of them, and first one hit, and did actually quite a bit of damage, and killed him. And Nuala is basically just sitting there twiddling her thumbs. The next 2 are actually really important. Swinging on the dog, I only did a couple points with the first swing. Second swing, I was lucky enough to do just enough to make him make a tough check. He ended up failing, so good luck, good thing for me. Now it's Krueger's turn. Krueger ends up shimmying a little bit, trying to telekinesis the Old Witch. Ends up missing terribly, has to do it again to try to see if he can hit her. Yep. I telekinesis just enough to where the Stalkers are in a complete back arc, so I can get a +2 to hit. And I'm trying to swing at him, misses, and now it's the Stalker's turn to try to finish up. See if I can get this catch kill. He gets +2 strength from his warping. He shimmies a little closer so he can get that claw attack. First swing ends up hitting, and ends up doing a lot of points of damage. Ends up doing 9 points. Second swing ends up missing, so I buy attack and boost, and I end up killing her.